because Milan coming in hot here, trying to keep Ponlo alive. So is going to end up being that first blood. But my question for you, Purge, is we talk about, you are having that Shadow Fiend, but also the idea that they're up against a pretty strong lane, right? A Mirana-Mars combo?
Yeah, that can be really good. If you get the right spear into arrow setup, then you can definitely get a kill there. They did get that first blood with a Nightmare into combos, is how they began that. And it's not going to end necessarily with Flea here. They've got Orb of Venom as well.
This is pretty scary for Flea because he opted for that arrow. Ponlo can just continue to chase him here, and that's exactly what he's doing.
But yeah, gonna get some damage in. I think Quinn's Leshrac is really good as well. It's definitely a hero that you need to fear against him. But the one upside is that he can't necessarily always escape using this hero is one benefit of playing against Quinn's Lesh. If you do get him out of position, then punishing him is certainly a thing you can do.
I feel like there's a lot of heroes that you have to fear Quinn on, to be quite honest. This guy is just simply too good. But, you do have Ryoya on his Void Spirit. This is a hero that he's well known for playing. So perhaps he'll be able to stand his ground here against Quinn.
The downside now as well for Bane is that with Skilling Nightmare, he's not going to have Brain Sap, so he's not necessarily going to be able to fight quite as much. But it did get Lil Nick a First Blood, which will help get him towards that Helm of Iron Will, which is actually quite good, because that's a pretty expensive item these days, 975 gold. But once you get it, you're going to have all this armor and all this regen, and against a hero like Shadow Fiend, who does have a decent amount of right-click damage, it'll be quite helpful.
Be interested to see if they can set up anything here. Well, Lil Nick taking a lot of harass from UR.
He is, yeah. Missed one of his last hits there, but...
Looking for that opening, needs a little bit more damage here. Can they get it? He's taken down.
Tango's going to keep him alive there, but Flea looks to be in trouble. Got a 6-stick here. He's going to mango. Going for this one. Should be fine, I assume. Yep, there's the wand. All okay.
Flea should be fine here with the Tango, right?
Either way, I mean, Ponlo landing another Ignite on 2 heroes is pretty effective, because this has given UR a decent amount of space here, but just lots of fighting. On the other side of the map, I mean, it's difficult to harass through the IO plus Bane combo here. That's for sure. TA's last hit's a little suffering as well. And then in the mid lane, they're basically even. So across the board, pretty even game so far.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of these former, mid-classics, right? The TA, the Shadow Fiend, being moved over to the safe lane now. Yeah. Why do you think we're having such a big shift?
I don't necessarily think it's a huge amount of heroes, but you're definitely right. Like, these are 2 heroes that traditionally, it was like you're a noob if you take these safe lane, because they are just so much better mid. But TA, for example, like your cleave is just not as abusive against creeps. SF is a stronger right-clicker than he maybe used to be. He also builds up his damage a little bit faster. As you level up, you don't need as many souls once you hit level 2 Necromastery. So there's little things like that that kind of make them function slightly better as side lane heroes. So it's probably just random stuff like that, but I definitely see what you're pointing out here.
It is crazy. I know earlier when I was casting with Jenkins, we're just like, man, Dota's changed so much over the past couple of years. Yeah. And it's pretty incredible to think about just how flexible it has become in the way that, we look at a Team Secret Draft. We just have absolutely no idea where anybody is laning.
They're a special case.
They've always been, right?
Pick some kind of goofy stuff that they're confident in earlier today, and it maybe cost them a bit.
Just a little bit. Right, taunting over here on Quinn. Quinn, though, of course, has those bottle charges, has a stick as well. He's going to continue with the harassment and get himself a nice kill.
All you had to do is press dissimulate and he disengaged from that, but Quinn just baits out that range creep there. Really nicely done. And that's the 2nd game in a row now that he's gotten solo kills against his mid opponent. He's on the Ryoya side, he's laning much better than Lil Nick was, but still. Really nicely done by him. He's going to steal that enemy bounty rune as well. It's a little bit of gold stolen from the supports too. Always feels bad.
Ponlo setting up here for UR to get himself a kill. It'll be Ponlo, though, who will collect.
Lil Nick again, just getting mega pressured here. Tough one for him. But that's only his first death, I guess, so not the end of the world. Oh, and an interesting skill build, too, on Shadow Fiend. He actually did get Presence of the Dark Lord already. Which makes some sense, right? Because if you're trying to spam Shadow Raises, yeah, it's better to level it up, but -4 armor this early in the game is huge in an AoE. So just that extra -4 armor, way more right-click damage, it's going to make it easier to get those kills.
It's going to make your timing a lot faster too, I imagine.
Yeah, you'll just farm faster generally. Like, you're not going to be able to raise farm as fast, but the ability to right-click your opponents down is going to be not bad. It will push the wave, of course, but it's not the end of the world. You push the wave, you back briefly and get some jungling done. It kind of offsets it.
Testing a little bit over on the side here for Quincy. They're going to try to chase down Empyrean. They'll throw the Nightmare out. Milan trying to get some body blocks. Being fairly successful, but Kezu's got bigger fish to fry. He's going to turn back around and continue hitting the creeps. How fast does your tower just evaporate if you're two-based right now? Look at Quinn. He's already doing classic Quinn moves. Diving a little bit, knowing that Ryoya can't do a whole heck of a lot against this.
I like how he's playing this, so let the creep wave tank. He's doing it again. He's just moving around. He basically knows he turns on Pulse No way. He does a massive amount of damage to his opponent. He wants to save Edict until later.
Ryoya forced to pop that Fairy Fire. Bottom lane, the hunt is on for Ollie. They're looking with these spirits. Get that last one over there. Can they get there fast enough? Nice Nightmare here from Empyrean. Io will tank it, and Kezu will collect the kill.
Ooh, played a little too greedy there.
They're just gonna chase down Empyrean. They're going hard on this dive. Empyrean just throwing out that cheese taunt because there's not much else he can do because he's just gonna get chased down, and it's a double kill now for Kezu. That's gotta feel so good. And you've got a party down there. Things are looking nice.
Cool itemization too with the fast Orb of Corrosion, but it makes sense. Like they are winning this lane. TA is a moderately weak laner, in some ways kind of similar to SF. That, like, okay, yeah, that can work in the safe lane, but they're not really the best because they can't like contribute to keeping themselves alive or getting kills really until they hit 6 or later. And TA just gets pressured down with this Orb of Corrosion because Milan can offset his regen with his base skills.
Nick getting some body blocked here. Lee a little bit off the mark with the arrow. Ponlo does tank a decent amount of damage with the creeps, with the tower. Of course, Fleet with that rune.
That part, not too bad, but it just kind of feels like Nick is suffering a lot here. Last hits are at 19. On the opposite side of the map, we got 32 on Kezu. Kezu is obviously buoyed up a little bit by the IO. That extra heal is
Ponlo's gone. He's looking, he wants this kill. Look at him, just running at him. I am a little surprised. Okay, Ryoya making this rotation should be able to get themselves a nice pull here. Into the arrow, and that's a dead Ponlo. Roar does have to be a bit careful. They do have a nice ward over on the side, so they can keep tabs on the fact that he's backing off.
Well, that's one rotation at least. That's going to give Lil Nick a little bit more space. Closer to picking up his 6 here. Again, Empyrean being pressured.
Teleport out. They don't have anything to cancel it. I will say, though, because of the rotation from Ryoya, it did open up the mid tower for Quinn to just absolutely just destroy.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how they would have been able to really keep him off that tower either.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Yeah, he can stay there and maybe can delay the double Edict, but you saw how Quinn was abusing him earlier. Just walking circles next to him. Ryoya could try to go for the kill, vice versa, but he might need some tower damage to be able to kill him first. So tower dies. Lesh is going to take it anyways. At least they give some space to Nick, because once he hits 6, it's going to give him more options to kill these important but semi-squishy heroes like Leshrac or Io or even Ogre.
Gonna try to make a play here. I can see Ryoya just ticking down quite a bit. He's going to have to run away, flee using the leaps. So just barely enough to keep him alive. Empyrean making his way over, trying to ensure that Ryoya will survive. Let's throw out a Nightmare. It's like Ponlo will just chase after them here.
I feel like the Mirana leap, he like landed on the cliff with his toes or something.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to have to jump a second time to get up there. They're thinking about playing on Ponlo here. Ponlo running at his opponents.
Oh, Kessa has duel up now. I'm sure he's hungry for getting some of that duel damage or just, using that lockdown effect. Empyrean is going to be walking right back into them, but... Okay, is he a bigger fish to fry? He's going to chase after Ollie. Slow, they're going for the duel. Empyrean is nearby, though. Again, they have to be a bit careful, so... Won't get the duel damage, but Io having to just distance himself just a little bit here. They do have the trap. Can they finish off Ollie? Yes, they can. Quinn making the rotation. Empyrean also just going to be able to teleport away. But now Ryoya and Flea both drawn to this bottom lane. in response.
A little bit of a mistake from Empyrean there. It's normally great to Nightmare a dual target because what happens is for 1 second, one of them's invulnerable, then the other second, the next one invulnerable, goes back and forth. But he did it just a little bit late there. As a result, the Nightmare didn't jump back towards the Legion, which would have either Nightmared Legion or the IO. Instead, it just ended up not doing much at all there. I was a little unsure what he'd do because he did get there a little bit moment late. He just thought that he had a little bit more time on the duration, but ultimately led to TA getting killed, which is a really negative outcome for him. So they're going to move towards the top lane, see if they can get some pressure here. There is a ward that's going to scout both of these guys rotating over.
Yeah, look how fast Ponlo just hides behind the tower. He's like, yeah, no. But he's still going to get to Ova anyways. They'll go for a reload. Trying to punish them for this, as Kez is also joining into the fight, looking to go and get a grab. He's going to be able to go grab Little Nick. They'll follow it up with that Nightmare, but they have a lot of damage. Not quite enough for that duel, but enough to wipe Mars off the planet.
Nicely done. And what happens? They go right back to farming. Might get caught at the haste. He does get it. No ulti though.
Yeah, wants the skill on Milan. Trying to put out damage over onto Imperium. Milan, all right, there's the Nightmare coming out. One more hit over onto Imperium. The arrow does connect, though, over onto Quinn. Nice jukes, though, coming out from Milan, trying to stay alive just long enough. They have the trap, they've got the damage, and that's very dead IO. And Quinn is not looking super great here. They'll try to keep him alive a little bit longer. Not going to be long enough. That is a kill for Ollie, as Kezu's running around in circles. They do have you are just barely making it out here over onto the side, but not going to be, tried to save Kezu, but the arrow coming in hot.
Nicely done there. Being able to kill the IO and the Leshrac, it took some doing, but once they got IO, Lesh had that vulnerability point there. And even with the hood, he ends up dying. Dies to Ollie, that's a dominating streak. They pick up Kezu afterwards with the great ulti rotation from Lil Nick, and Lil Nick goes back to playing top and being able to set up for his team. So things are now a lot better. 2K gold advantage still for Quincy Crew, so they're still happy, but this is a nice little comeback moment.
Quinn just gonna clear up this creep wave. I think that's the first time I've ever heard you with your regional accent.
Which one?
Took some doing. I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Yeah, it's probably regional.
It is definitely a regional thing. The smoke play, though, coming out on both sides here, hoping to get themselves a pick. And they go for the Fiend's Grip over onto Quinn. Got plenty of damage, so they'll just pop that poor Leshrac. They'll go use the Moonlight Shadow. Empyrean's going to get dueled up, though. There should be some dual damage coming in. Nice arrow lands over onto Ponlo to be able to immediately dispel it as Lil Nick's searching here. Doesn't have the arena. Will miss the spear. The rest of Quincy will back off. They're hoping to get Ponlo. It's looking like they should be able to find it. In fact, it's going to be Flea who lands that final hit.
Really good reactions there. Instantly dispelling the arrow, gives them some disengage. Ultimately, they do lose the fight, though. But that ward was absolutely perfect. They placed it a long time ago, and that's what got them the nice Fiend's Grip kill. Just need damage and disable. And a lot of these heroes that do a lot of damage, like TA, they don't have disable. Even like Leshrac's a good example. They do have disable, but it's not easy to land. You have to buy like a Yule Scepter to be confident in it. So just pair Fiend's Grip with these high damage dealers, and you can kill these really nasty heroes, assuming you have the vision and you get into position correctly. So helps offset some of that advantage. Now they're only 1k behind. It's going to put them in a much better spot. And kind of cool items so far. Rioria planning to get a Blade Mail, which is a great item against Leshrac. He just does so much AoE damage, it's an easy way to deal with it. It's like rather than trying to find the perfect item to offset the damage, you're like, just reflect it. It's a lot easier sometimes. Because Lesh has high damage but mediocre HP, this is a good solution to try to offset his benefits.
It's very similar to the idea of like a Death Prophet, right? Because you can't really control those ghosts when they're rolling around.
Yeah. The only downside, though, is Death Prophet heals really good, so like Blade Mail would work against Death Prophet well if she didn't also get lifesteal. But like sometimes you got to do it against Tinker. Like
True.
If he's just doing so much AoE damage, obviously you don't want to buy a bunch of Blade Mails on like your whole team, but like it's like something you can do in fun clips. Everybody buys a Blade Mail, you all eat the March and the arrow or the missiles, and all of a sudden Tinker's just dying. He doesn't realize it.
Oh, that
it's
feels
fun.
very good.
It does.
I hate Tinker. I think a lot of people share that same sentiment. But did just see a Blink Dagger get picked up. I believe it is coming to the Legion Commander. So going to try to make more plays. But on the flip side of that, we do have the Mars, who's just finished his own Blink.
Mars, not quite as easy to grab combos as he goes in, but They've got Quinn ready to follow up on any of these duels.
Yeah, they want Ryoya. They should be able to get enough damage off. The spear coming in. It does connect, but a little bit too late. So everyone being held in this arena, they're just sightseeing, though, at this point. There's no damage coming out here against them.
Almost saves them, but too much damage. They follow up on the great dual kill. And what a hero to grab, too.
Exactly the one they want.
So once again, they reset. Gonna go push out side lanes, and the best part is the Legion, or sorry, the Lesh is ready to go. They can just relocate if they get a catch here.
Quincy immediately gonna get hit with that Nightmare. They'll pull it off. They need some way to cancel out. Oh, they don't need anything to cancel out the TP because they have plenty of damage.
Damage is the best way to cancel a TP. If you have enough damage, that is. And boy, did they have enough.
Boy, did they have enough.
So that's the relocate. So that's going to take them out of contention for a 5v5 for a moment. We'll see if that adjusts much of Quincy Crew's play, but right now it just feels like they get to play aggressive like they want. They've got Shadowblade on SF as well. They do have some sentries in the area, though, so they will spot this item pickup on him, I think.
I haven't seen really any stacks for the TA. I mean, to be fair, Quincy has been taking over their entirety of their jungle and just throwing their weight around, so that's potentially one of the reasons why we have not been seeing it. But
his net worth is really not that bad, though. I think he's just been pushing a lot of side lanes. It feels like there hasn't been much hero pressure on the Radiant side of the jungle. We've got Arena in about 6 here. We'll see if Lil Nick can get a pick off.
Duel is up over on the Legion. They're protecting very well, though.
Great
They're
Nightmare.
putting their bodies forward. Io coming in. Milan trying to keep him alive. It looks like they've got too much damage. The Keza will pop, but Ryoya not looking healthy at all. That Blade Mail not doing nearly enough for him. Quinn waiting patiently, landing the split earth. Pyrian throwing out that Nightmare. Milan gonna switch it right over. Ponlo taking too much damage, though. Ollie finding himself a kill, but they'll find the kill on him, Pyrian. Oh, the triple kill now coming out from Ollie. You are trying to find a target to hit. We'll just get tossed over here with Io. Ollie going back in. Flees here, too. It's a lot of damage with that Deso.
Oh!
Oh, the arrow? Nope.
A little spooky there. I think what happened was the Bane threw the Nightmare on Quinn. Quinn got it removed, I think, by Io, and that's why Io was just sitting on the back, unable to save him there, unfortunately, after the arrow hit. Something like that. But ultimately, great setup. Empyrean did that whole thing. Nightmare on the Legion. That's the one guy that's going to save against the arrow combo. Obviously, Io Core could do it as well, potentially. Watch the little Nick, though. He jumps in, drops the ulti, uses Bash. He didn't have enough mana to throw the spear, unfortunately. He popped his wand, but it was a moment too late, so he doesn't actually get a spear off. So it looks so good for Quincy Crew on this chase here. But they threw a lot of damage into Ponlo. There's the Nightmare. Milan's going to take that off him, so Quinn can do good stuff. Quinn walks high ground, gets arrowed. Now Io can't try to save him in any way. And they can just use the brunt of this physical damage to kill him. And the best part is that Ollie's got some damage protection against SF. This is a moment where SF is not that strong just yet. So, pretty cool fight. Still 3K gold advance for Quincy Crew. This looks like a smoke if I've ever seen one. A lot of people standing around. Or they're just playing near each other.
Sometimes, you know, you just want to have a cuddle huddle, dude.
That's not efficient.
No one said it was. Things are coming out that they're definitely looking for an invasion. And again, they have a Mirana. They could go for a Moonlight Shadow if they wanted to pop on in. But Quinn running forward. Lil Nick with a nice arena. We'll split the team up so they're not able to find this opening, but the arrow does connect. Taunt the drag back over here. Quinn gonna get healed up by Milan. Went in just with that reload, trying to make sure that he can keep him alive. They're hunting. They're on the back line, though. And there's pincering happening pretty hard here as they'll find their target, and they'll go and get themselves a Keizu. Pyrian sitting very low. The split earth coming into play here. Ryoya jumping back around. Lil Nick, he will fall. As now Ryoya running away, had that double damage. He wanted to do so much with it. He's going to have that step in just a minute, but he's not going to be able to complete it because UR gets himself a double kill.
Ultimately, that's a simply 2-based win because they've got 10 more damage on their Bane right now from that duel victory. And apparently SF is also still very happy with his damage, though, because you really saw it in that fight. I think Lil Nick did a great job jumping in. He jumps in, he spears the Legion at the back. They put the grip on the Leshrac, I believe, trying to kill him, but unfortunately the Io was ready to save him. So it seemed kind of good for them. They committed a little bit. Ooh, can they get this kill?
You are thinking about trying to get off that ulti, but not going to be able to do it. Just succumbs to his own fate.
That was all he could do. He has to pump fake the ulti because he would get arrowed otherwise, but at that point, too much damage. So even though SF hits really hard and his armor's okay at 14, that's not nearly enough to deal with a Deso Meld Strike TA. The hero's kind of Viper-esque. Like, does a pretty good amount of damage, but he's a little weak to physical single target stuff.
Yeah, he is quite vulnerable. I think he's just trying to finish up this BKB. Seems to be his big item as they'll go in for yet another duel, and this time they'll be able to find the success on Lil Nick.
A little miscommunication there, I think. They basically go to deward the ward the same time that Nick runs in. If they do get that ward first, then when Nick goes in, he doesn't necessarily get dueled. It becomes more of a battle of reactions. But when your opponents see you coming, good luck. That kind of loses them a little bit of momentum here. So they're going to have to go back and briefly farm while Nick respawns.
Taking a look at some of these items coming up now, we do have the BKB queued up for this Templar Assassin, and she's dishing out plenty of damage. So definitely going to be a big spot for her.
Yeah, she's doing great. Top net worth right now. In some ways, like, the SF is being played sort of like a TA right now. Just tons of single target physical damage, some nice minus armor built in. But it just feels like TA is a little bit more strong in the mid game. The burst damage coming out of Meld just feels like so much.
It hurts for sure. But now with the BKB picked up for UR, definitely going to be harder to hold them into place, and they'll be able to kite perhaps a bit better.
Yeah, and most importantly, he's going to be able to get his ulti off. So assuming he's in a decent position where he goes for that, that's when things feel good.
Well, Tyrion's got so much pressure now on him to make sure that he can get that grip if that's the case.
Exactly. Interrupt the Requiem could be a really good thing to do.
He walks directly in, Quincy waiting patiently, but not going to be able to get that hit yet. Nightmare getting tossed out. Empyrean. Look at the damage. Oh my god. Need a couple more hits. Can they get there fast enough? Oh, he's so low, but they're not going to be able to find it. The step forward. Nice arena coming out from Nick. Will separate Milan a little bit here from the rest of his team. Arrow stunning up over on Ponlo. BKB popped over on UR, though. They're hunting. They want to find this kill. Do they have it? This question. Ollie doing so much damage. Ponlo with the dust just throwing his little meaty body forward. There's the split. It doesn't matter that they have the BKB. They're just going to race right there. And then Empyrean is the next to fall. Quinn getting a double kill. He wants more. He wants Nick. And it's going to be a triple.
Great fight there by Quincy. Just getting
They're going after Flea. They're not done yet. They want this. Can they get there, though, is the question. Flea running all the way back to his base. Gets the stun. Can they finish him? Ooh.
Quinn a little bit behind enemy lines right now. They're pinging him, but can we kill this guy, guys? It's not easy, though. Ryoya is definitely
I mean, they got quite a few people during that last fight. That was a triple kill.
Yeah, they can't be too upset about how that one went. Chased him down, got the duel off. The Mars Arena was okay. Spear didn't end up landing.
Oh,
playmail, but couldn't tell. Didn't see much heal in there. And now that they've got Locket and Mech, the heal that Milan is pumping out here is incredible.
Considerable, to say the least. Arrow coming in, does land over on Ponlo.
He's done his job. Tranquil boots.
He's caught it with his face. Look at, just Quinn
face
running after Empyrean.
Cut with both faces. That's a good point, actually. If the arrow hits, are both of you stunned?
I think it has to. That is a good question. That's one to ask Jenkins, honestly.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to hear what he thinks. Empyrean, they're going to get a little dual damage on their way through. Guys are very happy with that. Milan getting that kill.
Love the dual damage.
I feel like to be stunned, you have to get hit in the head, right? That's what I think of when I think stunned, but I guess you could just get the wind knocked out of you, too?
Yeah, probably. Gale Force, AoE stun.
No.
Yor beating up the tower now. He's even got the Grove Bow. This feels nice. Just outrange this guy. It's like a Drow Ranger in the mid game. Just feels busted. Just hitting buildings without them being able to hit back.
He's got so many steroids, too, that he can be using. He's got, the Legion press the attack. He's got the Bloodlust coming out from Ponlo.
Yeah.
Look at this guy, he's a chain gun.
Never really see the shard anymore on him. Like, people played with it a little bit at the start, but it just seems a little goofy. Doesn't quite work out nice. Looking for a duel potentially if they want.
Casey turns right back around. He's like, why, hello, Lil Nick. Empyrean just bleeding over in the corner here as UR just clicks away. Not quite enough damage to win that victory, but they'll still kill Lil Nick, and that's still a victory, I think, in their mind. Quinn, he's hungry, just runs right into the base, waiting for that split earth to connect. Is just gonna melt away over on Ollie. And the rest of TOOBASED just forced away here.
They just sensed the weakness. It was a little bit of two teams looking at each other, not realizing they were there, but he gets the duel off. Very smart of Yor to pick off the Bane first. That was the guy that would have been able to deal with stuff or get saves off. So smart of him to right-click. And the pressure just continues. They are not slowing down in the slightest.
There's no
12K gold
reason
advantage.
for them to slow down. They've got an Aegis, they still have BKB, they've got all the steroid and damage to put on UR.
They got another duel as well. Ready to go.
Just growing more
Anybody
powerful.
shows, gotta watch out.
And Quinn has no fear the way he just keeps running in with his face. Look at this. Very front and forward.
Bloodstone too. Going a little greedy on his item build, but it is so easy this game when you're this far ahead.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to be greedy when you're 11, 3, and 8, and you're already cracking the base at 24 minutes in.
And they're not done. They're gonna definitely keep going. I don't.
Oh, there's the duel. They've grabbed themselves Ryoya. This Void Spirit is not going to be able to step away from this.
And that's all they need right now. Just get the kills on the board. With the kills, that leads to more towers because now they can't 5v5.
I mean, how do you go forward into this? It's scary.
Yeah, that's a 2-racks. I don't think you can touch this. I don't think they're going to continue hitting tier 4, but they just might. They're so far ahead.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Like, you can't get the tier 2 on the bottom, so you can't get the triple racks here. That's what they would be doing right now if they could.
I don't know. I think they're looking to set up camp here.
All right, they're going to do it. They
They're
got
just sticking
Edict.
around. What are they going to do? They still have an Aegis online. Flee. All right, it's a good era. It always feels weird to say arrow. It looks like it's a spear.
They got the double spear draft.
Double spears. Oh, God.
That's how you stun Ogre. All right, they're doing it. They're just hitting buildings.
They want to finish this up.
Oh my god, it's taking so much damage.
Again, they still have an Aegis online.
Yeah. Why bother? Creep wave is going to be dead. They've got IO to save whoever they want. He's going in though.
Oh, he does go in. He gets done. The fall up in the arena. It's holding everyone into place, but they just don't quite have enough damage. All right, they finally take down the Shadow Fiend. The first time, it is an Aegis, but everyone else is just coming right back up again. Lil Nick buying back. And it feels like Quincy, all right, they might back off a little bit now. Unless Ponlo lands something real nice here, and indeed he does. They go back in with the duel. They'll just rip apart Ollie. And they're gonna buy back. They're not ready to go out just yet. But it's not looking great here for the side of TOOBASED as they land the split. Oh, the damage that just comes out. My God. Ryoya force back Ollie. He's trying to fight, but the jump forward again here coming out from Quinn. Can they take down Lil Nick? They will, but they'll throw the IO back into the fountain. The GG gets called. Quincy crew still looking real good.
They really do. I mean, they're instantly playing excellent with their new squad here. And obviously, simply TOOBASED is not the same caliber of team. And Quincy did get some really solid picks.